One of the most desirable countries to move to for high net worth and ultra high net worth individuals to educate their kids and to store their wealth. Singapore is known to have one of the most free economies in the world, and it's also one of the safest countries in the world, which is why it is very appealing. However, navigating through obtaining a residence, permanent residence, and citizenship has becoming increasingly complex, especially with the global investor visa being much more expensive now than it was. However, luckily, there are some other ways that you can obtain residence in Singapore which are not that expensive, and this is exactly what we're going to be talking about here today. My name is Jelena, and here at Nomad Capitalist, we help 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs figure out their tax situation, optimize it, figure out their lifestyle needs, immigration needs, obtain a second passport, and overall go where they're treated best. Now, for years, the most famous program in Singapore in order to get a residence was the Singapore Global Investor Program. And previously, it was also aimed towards high net worth and ultra high net worth individuals, where you would have to invest 2.5 million Singaporean dollars minimum in order to get a residence permit. However, last year it went up to 10 million Singaporean dollars, which made it even less accessible and less attractive to many people. In addition to increased requirement for investing, they also increased the requirement for some business proof, for your education, for your experience, and so on. So besides the 10 million Singaporean dollars that you would have to put in a country, you would also have to satisfy a number of requirements in addition to that. However, if you're looking into getting a residence in Singapore, you don't want to, or you don't have that much money to put in Singapore, but you still want to have a foothold there, maybe live there with your family, and so on, then maybe you can consider something that's aimed towards foreign workers, which is called the Employment Pass, or EP. So if you're an individual, high net worth individual or professional, business professional who wants to move to Singapore under the Employment Pass, you would have to fulfill these following conditions in order to actually be eligible for the Employment Pass. First, you would have to incorporate a Singaporean company, then you would have to employ yourself, and then you would have to apply for the employment visa. Now, obviously, this can work also if you have a Singaporean company owned by somebody else that will employ you. It doesn't have to be yours, but you have to be a foreigner who is employed by a Singaporean company. So for many of our clients, that usually means establish your own company. It doesn't have to be the main operating company of your structure. It just has to do something, and it has to employ you in order for you to get the employment pass, and by extension your family get a dependent pass based on that. One thing to consider is that all Singaporean companies must have a Singaporean director at all times. So while you're waiting for your employment pass, you would likely have to hire a nominee director or somebody else to act as your director in Singapore. And once you